Coming up on Cardinals Insider, Major League debuts are always quite special.
Through 7 in his big league debut. Listen to this crowd in St. Louis.
Plus, Iván Herrera is showing his pop.
I feel like my preparation and work ethic took me to this place.
And later, the Cardinals pitchers are making their mark in 2025.
And listen to the crowd as Sonny Gray departs with a 4-run lead.
All that and so much more straight ahead on a brand new Cardinals Insider. Welcome to Cardinals Insider. I'm Azie Smith. There's nothing quite as special as a big league debut. So we begin today's show with some of those memories.
And this will be a fun moment. Pedro Pajes is going to come on and make his major league debut. He was in Indianapolis. He had an hour to clear out his locker, get back to his hotel, get his personal belongings, and then get into an Uber and come to St. Louis in time for the game the other day.
It was just the whole experience, the whole Uber ride over. I had a 3.5 Uber ride. It was crazy. I was in the car calling everyone. I didn't know what to do. My heart was racing. I had to get there as fast as I could, so I was in a rush, whatever, on the Uber, calling my dad. We cried, shared tears together, my family, my sister, my brother, everyone. When I got there, just walking out and seeing how full that stadium was, it was cold, but how full that stadium was, and just seeing how the fans were into the team, it was just such an amazing experience, and I'm grateful for that.
The 24-year-old right-hander, Michael McGreevy, making his major league debut here against the defending champions.
I called my brother first. I thought he was up at school at UC Santa Barbara, and I call him, he's like, what? It's like 6 a.m. his time. I'm like, I just got called up. Oh my gosh! And then I hear my mom in the other room, like, you're home? And then they are all in the room, and like, besides the game, like, the game's the game. Like, that was unbelievable, but I think like being able to tell my family I got called up was something I'll never forget.
Ground ball to second. He's going to be through 7 in his big league debut. Listen to this crowd in St. Louis.
I remember that I struck out 3 times. Couldn't put it in play. It's okay, I was nervous.
Major league debut. Iván Herrera, the 21-year-old.
Just getting the first chance to play in the big league stadium is just like you grew up, you play baseball and you dream about it. So it was like a dream become true for me.
Riding around around the field in the car and seeing all the fans and finally like kind of taking in the stadium for the first time. That was my first time in there when there was fans, and it was pretty unbelievable.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle. Welcome to St. Louis.
My mom and dad drove out because it's like a 5.5 hour drive from home. We went to dinner, and then he called me and told me to meet him. He's like, I got some great news for you. And then we ordered food, and we didn't even eat it. We just left. We paid, obviously, but we didn't we just ordered it, and we're like, we gotta go, and we just paid and left, and then he told us I got called up. That was a pretty cool experience. And then they were playing in Phoenix, so we drove from Tucson to Phoenix. The weird part about it is I got basically like a black car at the time, you know, and the person and my mom and dad had their car, so they were following us to Arizona, and my driver, my mom drove with me, and our driver was like falling asleep. And I called my dad, I'm like, hey dude, I'm gonna tell this guy to pull over, but we're gonna go with you because this guy's like falling asleep on the way to Phoenix. And I told him, hey man, can you pull over? I hopped in my parents' car and we went home. We went to Phoenix. It was kind of scary, I know. My mom was super uncomfortable on the way there because she was worried that we weren't even gonna make it.
So were you in the lineup then that night?
Yeah, I was on lineup the next day. Yeah, I went to bed at like 6. Couldn't sleep, I was super nervous and pumped. Went to bed at like 6. Didn't get a hit, but went to LA the next day. It was an adventure. Those first 2 days in the big leagues were quite an adventure.
Iván Herrera has broken out this season. His bat is packing a punch in the Cardinals' order. Let's get to know the 25-year-old slugger in this week's Player Profile.
Swing and a drive, that's hammered. The ball is gone! Herrera, 3-run lightning bolt.
I feel like my preparation and work ethic took me to this place. Before, I just didn't feel comfortable. I felt overwhelmed by everything that was happening, I debuted at a really young age, and I think that helped me too because like I grew up faster. And now I don't feel it, like I said before, I don't feel any pressure. I feel really confident that I'm gonna get the results because like I believe in everything I've done. All the hard work I put, I believe in that, and when you do everything you can to do the right things, I know I work hard and every aspect of the game, it's gonna pay off on some time, and it's just paying off right now.
Swing and a drive, a solo home run, swing and a drive. Herrera admires another one. And a high drive by Herrera. It's a 3-homer game.
When I'm DHing, I only think about hitting. And, I try to do everything I can to help the team win. I like being DH. It's relaxing and you enjoy the game too. But the only bad thing about being DH is if you're missing, you're going to be stuck for the next 20 minutes thinking about what you did wrong. And when I'm catching, after I hit, I go in for defense and I forget about everything that happened before. I just enjoy the game. Like, I truly enjoy the game. I go out there and compete, and I truly care about my teammates. Like, I want them to do good so we can win the games, And all those moments, you feel all the emotions together. You just realize that you're helping and you're doing everything you can, and it feels awesome. You feel like you're in the clouds, flying.
Straight ahead on Cardinals Insider.
I think the biggest thing these guys do is they stay hungry to keep adapting to the game, adapting to how lineups and other offenses are trying to approach them.
That's right after the break. Cardinals pitching has surprised a lot of people so far, but pitching coach Dusty Blake isn't one of them. He knows what the Cardinals staff is capable of.
That guy's going to be the one that sets the tempo. There is no cure. I don't care how good your offense is for an ace.
Swings and goes down on strikes.
I think the biggest thing these guys do is they stay hungry to keep adapting to the game, adapting to how lineups and other offenses are trying to approach them. We've gotten better at getting ahead, and I think we've gotten a little better at our two-strike execution also.
8 strikeouts as Sonny Gray cruising this afternoon.
I think a big thing for starters, you're going through a lineup 3 times. So we always have a plan, but a lot of times they've got their own plan to counterbalance that. So our ability to see that first and second time through and then be able to give us that third time through the lineup's huge to get us deep enough into the game so we're not wearing out our bullpen.
And a complete game, a shutout for Eric Fetty. Well done, Eric Fetty.
And it's one of the best stadiums in the league. I think guys like being here. I think guys like playing here. So I think there's always value in that.
And listen to the crowd as Sonny Gray departs with a 4-run lead.
The support you feel when we're here is always good. I think the comfort level of knowing the site, knowing how you're going to do all your preparation. Sometimes you go to other fields, they're not built the same way. They don't have the same access to some of the same areas or plyo walls, things like that we may need. So I think it's good to be here because I think they can feel comfortable about their routine and knowing that they're going to be able to get everything in, how they're going to do it before we get to that first pitch. And then it does play a little bit bigger, but I don't think that ever comes to mind as far as like how we're going to attack people. But it's always fun to be here when you've got people that have your support and have your back out there and are cheering you right along as you're going out there and giving yourself the best chance to win.
And still to come, Chip and Brad eat some barbecue.
Now this is just gonna be a dainty bite, okay? Nice and easy, I don't wanna get embarrassed here.
That's next.
No place takes you in depth with the Cardinals like our YouTube channel. Get to know the players, come along for one-of-a-kind experiences, and hang out with personalities from across Cardinals Nation. Plus, we capture the days and moments that make Cardinals baseball so special. Just search St. Louis Cardinals on YouTube and be sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. St. Louis Cardinals Baseball.
Kansas City is known for barbecue, and Chip Caray and Brad Thompson love to eat. That is what we call a good matchup.
On Okay, we are in Kansas City, the I-70 series, the Cardinals and the Royals.
My kind of place.
This is a great food town. Look, we know what Kansas City's known for, right?
Barbecue, right?
So we thought we'd try some of the specialties here at Kauffman Stadium. The first one's pretty routine, you know, just a good old-fashioned plain barbecue pork sandwich.
Can't go wrong with that. All right, it's a little pulled pork.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, that's you. That is you. Yes, try that.
Looks pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a good portion. Not too much. Are the buns soft or the buns hard?
Soft buns, yeah.
Well, are you into soft buns?
That was really good.
Okay.
So far, that's the leader in the clubhouse. Of course, it's the first thing we tried. So the second thing is a pulled pork Frito pie. Did you ever have Frito pie as a kid?
No.
Like you open a bag of Fritos, put some chili in it.
I've never had that.
And then put all the
that sounds amazing.
Like a taco, right?
Why didn't we have that? Why didn't we have that?
So we got Fritos, we got cheese, got jalapenos.
That looks fantastic.
Little pickled onions.
Yeah. Here we go. Together. I love jalapenos too. Good jalapeno on there. I would absolutely buy that.
Really good. I like that better than the sandwich, just because it has more flavor, more different tastes.
I don't know if you'll like this later, but I like the beans on that. Big fan.
Okay.
Yeah, I like me a good baked bean.
Okay. I hope I'm upwind. Now this item is in honor of, we're told, to honor the Royals' slugging first baseman, Vinny Pasquantino, and his nickname you mentioned on the broadcast.
Pasquatch.
Okay. I think that's what the name of this sandwich is.
Oh my goodness, Chip. There's like 78 pieces of bacon, 2 pieces of provolone. That's an Italian beef. And there's 2 hash browns at the bottom.
Go for it.
All right,
I see
I'm gonna slam it down. It's the haunch is what you gotta do.
Yeah.
And boy, that bottom bun is not holding up. Here we go. Look at this thing. Now this is just gonna be a dainty bite, okay? Nice and easy. I don't wanna get embarrassed here. Oh God! Okay,
well, man down. Oh, the au jus.
Well, that's actually better.
There you go. Keep going. So, Cardinal Nation, I think we know what the winner is. It's got to be the Sasquatch sandwich. Thank you, Kansas City. The barbecue is outstanding.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, keep going.
Really appreciate it. That's a lot, and it's fantastic.
This great story is still to come as well.
At the end of the season, there will be 296 bobbleheads in that case.
That's coming up soon, so don't go anywhere. Cardinals Insider is a team effort, and that includes you. We'd love to hear from you. To get in touch with the show, head on over to cardinals.com/insider and click on the Contact Us tab. And while you're there, you can rewatch old episodes and check out our podcast too.
Donnie, is this real or fake? First name Chicken? Last name Wolf?
It's all at cardinals.com/insider. The Cardinals Museum recently renovated a display case of bobbleheads from across Cardinals history. Here's a look at how the museum adds bobbleheads to its collection.
So we were catching up from COVID, and we had about 150 bobbleheads that were languishing in storage, and figured it was time to get those out. And we tried to do a timeline, was the previous iteration. We started with the very first kind of that bobbin head. It was the really big bird head. And then we kind of went all the way up to the season prior. Once we caught up on our backlog, I was like, we need to get these in. So at the end of the season, there will be 296 bobbleheads in that case. Anything Cardinal is obvious. The Dean family, Dizzy and Paul Dean's family, made some special bobbleheads for the family only, and they were kind enough to share those with the museum. So while they are not specifically Cardinals created, I felt it was important to put those in there. I love the early ones. My favorite is of Tony La Russa because his head is about that big and he's wearing sunnies and it looks like him, and it's just, they're funny. They're supposed to be funny. We have some really hysterical looking Mark McGuire ones. He has no neck, it's just straight, their legs are like little tree trunks, and basically everybody had the same face. But nowadays there's a lot more work that goes into it. Museum is open all year, with the exception of a few holidays. You can check the website, cardinals.com/museum. There's a special surprise at the end of the museum. So you have to go through the whole museum before you get to the baubles.
The Ronald McDonald House gives families a place to stay when their children are in St. Louis for vital medical care. The Cardinals helped design a new space in the house to give those families a much-needed place to unwind.
You are in the Cardinals Room. This is the second floor of our new 72-room house. Second floor is a very communal type space. So the Cardinal Room is an extension of that. So we have memorabilia, we have Cardinal-themed furniture. We have a portrait from Bill DeWitt III of Adam Wainwright. So it's another space for families just to hang out, enjoy the Cardinal space, and relax a little bit.
The Cardinals and McDonald's have had a long-standing partnership and relationship, and Cardinals Care and Ronald McDonald House had a relationship for a long time as well. And so they approached us to partner with them in building this unbelievable building that they have here. You know, they expressed interest in us having our own room, and so it just grew and came into this family room where it's really nice for families to be able to come in here during the season. The Cardinal games will be on. It's just an opportunity for them to get away and relax.
A big goal of ours is to provide families with some sense of normalcy, a safe spot for them to spend their day while their children's at the hospital.
Just another way for families to be together outside of the room that they're in, chance for the kids to think about something else besides, you know, the things that they're going through and why they're actually here. It's just a nice place to relax, and with all the memorabilia and the photos on the wall, and hopefully the game will be on, it just gives people a chance to get away.
Grants we receive, obviously everything goes to providing the best facilities, the best care for the families that are staying with us. But these partnerships, like with the St. Louis Cardinals, are amazing because it brings awareness to our organization, and it's just a great partnership that we really look forward to having for a long time.
Today we wanted to bring Fred Bird. We knew that there were some kids here. They're at about 60% capacity right now. And we just wanted to take the opportunity before the holidays to come over, visit, drop off some toys and some items for the kids. And what's important to know is that this isn't one where just Cardinals Care gave some money and there's a room themed after the Cardinals. It's one where it's a partnership, and we'll be in it for the long run, and we work well with Ronald McDonald House and hope to do other things with them in the future.
When we return, you ask, I answer. It's Ask Azie after the break. It's time for this week's Ask Azie. Lyndall in Springfield, Missouri asks, what did you like to do during rain delays? Well, Lyndall, I use that to really kind of get my thoughts together, go over the scouting reports, and make sure that I was prepared for my next at bat. And, you know, sometimes taking a break is what is needed. I didn't enjoy playing cards, so I tried to spend my time concentrating as much as I possibly could on baseball. You can stay physically loose by going down to the batting cage, or sometimes after we've been on a long road trip, if we come back home and we have a rain delay, it might be a good time to take a nap. For people who remember baseball in the 80s, we had the Zamboni. The Zamboni was really relied on to gather most of the water. The draining systems weren't as good as they are today. Certainly, you know, technology has made it a lot easier today to get good drainage systems. And I think the drainage system on the baseball field today probably comes from the drainage systems they use on golf courses, which is pretty good, and everything's done underneath. The one thing that I learned over the years was that if you woke up in the morning and it was raining, you never say to yourself, we're not going to play. This is one of the things that I tried to pass along to some of the young players. Never get up in the morning because it's raining. Say to yourself, we're not going to play, because at that point, you're turning everything off. So it's not until the game is called that you let everything down. But up until that point, you got to be ready to play. Thanks for the question, Lyndall. To submit a question, visit cardinals.com/insider and click the Ask Azie tab. But for now, don't go anywhere. There's more Cardinals Insider after the break.
We just live it for the good times. Nothing better than the good times. Stay living for the good times.
Redbird is headed to the Mascot Hall of Fame later this summer. He found out on June 17th via a very special phone call.
Hello, Redbird? Redbird? Are you sitting down? I've got some news. You're going to be inducted into the Mascot Hall of Fame.
That's it for this episode. You can catch us online at 4 p.m. each Friday at cardinals.com/insider and on YouTube. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you right back here next week.